Hello, you gorgeous human beings. So today is a little bit different than usual. I don't have a special guest. It's just me talking for this podcast, but let's get right into it. Okay, welcome to Emma's Happy List. I am Emma, and like I said, it's just me on the podcast today, but that's just as well because I have two really, really important items from my happy list to share with you today. So important, transformational. They definitely changed my life, so much so that I don't just use them when I don't feel so good. I use them every single day. And the reason that I do this is because they actually are preventative in terms of not making you lower into those like lower frequencies of feeling. So the first one, and hopefully many of you already adopt these practices, is gratitude. Gratitude. It's one of my favorite words in the whole wide world. And I always thought that I was a grateful person. I always thought, when I got given something, I would say thank you, as I was taught from a young age. But it wasn't until I read a really, really special book that I recommend to you with all my heart that I realized that in fact I was not a grateful person and I wasn't living in appreciation of my life. And it just changed everything. Everything I think and see changed through this book. So the book is called The Magic. And as you can probably guess, the magic is the power of gratitude. It's by a lady called Rhonda Byrne. She is also the author of The Secret, which is a different thing altogether. The magic is very much more practical. So each day you do like a magical gratitude practice. And one of the first quotes in the book actually is from Roald Dahl. So I used to read a lot of Roald Dahl when I was growing up. And the quote is, "Those who don't believe in magic will never find it." But obviously in my usual, like to keep things positive, I flip that on its head and I say, only those who believe in magic will ever find it. So question is, do you believe in magic? Do you believe in this power of gratitude? And rather than getting all spiritual and philosophical about it all, I actually did pull out the science behind it. So I know you want to know the science. So basically 25% of, that's the wrong stat. These guys, they did a 10-week gratitude journal. So this is something that I do as well. In fact, my things that make me happy list is in my gratitude journal. So these people that did a gratitude journal for 10 weeks felt 25% happier compared to before they started their journal. They felt like they slept better, and the statistic behind that was 29%. So a 29% increase in sleep in terms of how good their sleep was. And then finally, and a really, really important one, probably the most important one, is 23% reduction in stress hormones. So all of those horrible hormones that keep us alive, but also stressed. So these are the types of hormones why can't I say that? Hormones. It's a really difficult word for me. All of these hormones that we have that are released when we're stressed, they are biologically ingrained into us because we obviously have evolved from wild animals, and we have fight, flight, or freeze. But they were designed to keep us alive. But obviously, we don't really have that need anymore. We're not going to get jumped by a saber-toothed tiger. We don't really need that like initial stress response, but we get it a lot in our day-to-day life from very trivial things most of the time. So a 23% reduction in these is actually a huge, huge amount. And I would definitely recommend that anyone, one, picks up the book, The Magic. So definitely pick up the book, The Magic. And then two, starts a gratitude journal at the very least. So why did I start my gratitude journal? Well, it was actually at a really low point in my life where I sort of lost a lot. Well, it felt like I lost a lot of things in one fell sweep. So I lost my house, my job, my relationship, like everything that I had sort of worked towards, I lost, and it was just pulled from under my feet. And I literally was just like, what can save me from this feeling of absolute desperation? And I was at a train station. I was at Turin train station in Italy, in the very, very tiny book section. So it was like literally about 1 meter of English books to choose from in this gigantic bookshop. And this, the magic was just poking out. It was just it just caught my attention. In fact, I've got it here. It cost me €16.50. I've got it right in front of me. It's battered, absolutely battered, because I've read it so many times, and I often have to read it and remind myself of, what it means to be grateful, because it doesn't just mean, just saying thanks when people give you stuff. It's actually waking up in the morning and taking that first breath and being, thank goodness I've got another day on this earth, and then putting your feet on the ground. Oh my goodness, I'm so grateful that I can feel this on beneath my feet. Some people can't walk. And then getting up and brushing your teeth. Oh my goodness, I'm so grateful I've got clean water, and so on and so forth. And all of a sudden, rather than the usual sort of feelings that you get when you're getting up and getting ready, you're sort of on autopilot, and then you might like spill coffee down your shirt and you're waiting to work, or this, that, and the other. You are in this feeling of like feeling blessed, just feeling really, really blessed. Like you can go about your day, and actually anything can happen to you and you would find it funny rather than annoying, and it would put a smile on your face. Like if stuff like that happens to me now, my first instinct is to laugh, because I just think it's funny, and I'm just grateful that I'm able to laugh about things and joke about things. And my friends and family often just sort of take the mickey a little bit and say, oh, you always look at the positive side, you're always on the bright side. And actually, yeah, I am. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that I practice gratitude every single day. So that is my first one. It's really, really important. In fact, I used to have a blog. Okay, so I was so inspired by this book and this like way of life that I actually started a blog called One Grateful Thought. And it really, really pulled me out of like this really dark like point of my life. And my life like transformed before my eyes in the next couple of like months and weeks and months, just because I just changed my attitude about life. So when I started the business, I actually didn't keep up with the with the blog, but hopefully I'll do a better job with this podcast. But much of it is the same. So it's literally practicing gratitude, it's sharing joy, it's trying to contribute to the lives of others in a meaningful way. So I hope that's not too rambly, and I hope that makes a lot of sense and it resonates with a lot of people. And I hope that if you do anything from listening to this podcast, you just start writing down the things that make you happy, obviously, and hashtag share your happy list. But also maybe at the end of the day, you sit there and you think about the things that you're grateful for and how blessed you actually are. Because for every bad thing that happens, or supposedly bad thing that happens, there are at least 10 things to be grateful for. Trust me, once you get into the habit, you'll see it absolutely everywhere. So they scientists around the world, so people did this study, and they found that this woman, out of all the studies that they'd done, this woman had like the perfect score in this happiness test. And she went through her morning routine. You can actually find this on YouTube. So if you type in like the science of happiness or something like that, it should come up. But she went through her morning routine, and she said from the minute she wakes up, she says to herself, this day I choose to be happy, well, and complete. So that's recognizing in herself that she has a choice about how she feels, which I think is really, really, really important. Like, we can choose our own thoughts. And the first thought that she chooses in the morning is, I choose to be happy, well, and complete. I've also started to do this, and I do feel like that every single day. I feel happy and I feel well and I feel complete. Then she does her daily, like her morning routine, full of gratitude, like I was saying. So thank you for my toothbrush. Thank you for my toothpaste. Thank you for this running water. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Literally, thank you, thank you, thank you all morning. She also asks, then she does meditation, which I'm going to come on to shortly. But then she also asks, like, who can I help today? Who can I help today? And like, that as well is just so like groundbreaking. Like, how often is it that we say in the mornings, or say at any time, my life is not about me, who can I help today? So, and then she says she laughs as much as possible by watching cartoons. So I also like to, I think cartoons is probably the only TV that I actually watch. My favorite is SpongeBob, in case you're wondering. She doesn't mention this, but something that I always do as well. And I feel totally, totally lost when I don't have this, and it's having something to look forward to. So having like mini things to look forward to in your day, like something to look forward to in the evening time, or to get you through the day in a really jovial way, but also like some big things to look forward to as well. So like trips or just big occasions, big things that you can look forward to. So I try and get out for at least one adventure a month, and I don't like to define adventure too strictly, because adventures to be had everywhere, but they mostly do involve my lovely T4 van. I'm a little bit of a hippie on the quiet. So that's my first really, really important item from my happy list. And that is gratitude. So definitely that should be added onto your happy list too. And the science says it will increase your happiness. The second one, which I've sort of touched upon already, is meditation. And I've literally written in brackets only afterwards, because the actual practice of meditation is really difficult for my overactive brain. I'm sure a lot of people can sympathize, but actually there are ways around it, and there are lots of myths around meditation. So lots of people think that meditation is trying to get your brain to shut up, but that's actually impossible, and you can't do that. Your thoughts will come to you. So rather than doing that, I actually discovered active meditations. So these encourage you to use your brain, but in like a really productive way. My favorite one that I do most days is the 6-phase meditation by Vishen Lakhiani. So you'll be able to find that quite easily on YouTube as well. And that goes through various stages, 6 phases, that's what it's called, to actively use your time, your thinking time, in a really productive way, but also quiet your thoughts, become more aware of what's going through your mind, become more aware of what you want to achieve, that sort of thing. But what meditation really does for me is that it sort of brings me clarity when my brain is a bit like mashed potato. It just makes me feel like I've cleared out some junk out of there, and it also, I just know I'm going to have a good day. If I've meditated in the morning, I just know I'm going to have a good day, because my clarity of thought is so much better. I'm just way more able to process the things that happen to me in the day. I'm currently reading a book called The Chimp Paradox as well, which is really good. I would recommend it. I'm only a couple of chapters in, but it already makes so much sense. And it basically explains that we've got 3 brains. We've got the human, we've got the chimp, and we've got the computer. So your human is your rational, being, the divine being that you are. Then you've got the chimp, which is, like we were saying earlier, this reactive brain that is emotional, and it's just a bit irrational, and it's our survival mechanism, essentially. So we have these emotions and these instincts because it saved us in the past. And then you've got your computer, which is all your learned behavior. and it's your automatic behavior, but this can come from learnings from either the human or the chimp. So if you're used to reacting emotionally to something that happens often, this is learned behavior, and so your computer does it automatically. But the idea is that you become aware of when your chimp is in control, and you it gives you a choice. It's like, I'm panicking. No, what, like, human, this is the choice. And you as the human are able to recognize that your chimp is panicking, and you either say, yeah, you've got a good point, we should do something about this, or you say, no, it's fine, there's no need to overreact. This is just, something that you are being irrational over. So it's interesting because that's basically what meditation is. So it enables you, it gives you the tools to basically process your thoughts. So you can imagine it in this way. If you're sitting there quietly, trying to quiet your brain like traditional meditation, and you can just see these thoughts come into you. And the way I like to think of it is, it's like you are sitting on the throne, you are the divine person observing, you are observing all of the thoughts, everything. And your chimp is bringing you thoughts, and it's like, panic. And you say, thank you for your thoughts, because you were in charge. Thank you for your thoughts, they can pass. So you become an observer of your thoughts rather than being engrossed in it and being actually part of that panic or part of that reaction. I'm not sure if that makes sense to anyone, but it's something I think, so after practicing meditation, you will definitely feel the benefits from. Mindfulness is absolutely huge at the moment. More and more people are talking about meditation. There are apps out there to help people. They don't have to be the passive meditations, they can be the active meditations. I do a money meditation as well, and every time I do a money meditation, I get more money somehow. I just get, money drop into my bank account really randomly, or I get a check through the post really randomly. It's actually very good. I should definitely do that at least 3 times a day. So anyway, the 2 things today from the happy list. Gratitude makes me extremely happy, and it's my go-to tool for at any point in the day. You can change your thought at any point in the day by just being grateful for something, and it can literally just be the fact that you can breathe, or it can be something silly that happened to you in the day, or the fact that you can smile. A lot of people may not have the same things that you were blessed with, so just having that perspective, and it definitely makes you feel blessed. And then also meditation. So that is 17 and a half minutes of my voice so far. I really, really hope that you enjoyed listening. Maybe next time I'll have a guest. Maybe I can get some technology on board and we can do some Skype podcasting stuff. But anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts on all of the episodes so far, whether or not you're taking anything from this, how to make it better. Also, if you want to share your own happy list, that's the hashtag, share your happy list. I'm on Instagram at EXLP if you want to get in touch. But apart from that, I hope you have a glorious rest of day wherever you are in the world. And I will speak to you very soon. Take care. Bye.